Hello, hello, hello. Shavua Tov, Parshas Chodesh, Parshas Mevochim. Again, it's very special, this union of Parshas Chodesh. Why does that come? The union of Chodesh. Um, the Chodesh is the one mitzvah which we determine when it's going to be. Everything else, Shabbos is Shabbos. That's it. It never moves. But all the rest of the Yom Tovim are dependent on when we say that Rosh Chodesh is. And Rosh Chodesh is a very interesting phenomenon in the sense that it is exactly the point where the moon is totally hidden and it starts. It ends and it starts. It's exact moment. And it's an amazing thing. It's until Moshe Rabbeinu said he had the trouble, finding when this moment is. Because Baruch Hu told him, "This is when you see, and this is what you sanctify. This is what you call kodesh." And I heard a marvelous aura about this, that it signifies the same point in me or in you, that I take a look at myself and I don't see, I mean, come on, this ain't working. This is not things I'm trying to do don't come out, and whatever comes out, comes out pathetic or whatever it is. It's just okay, so what do we want? Okay, let's say I'm pathetic, I'm not pathetic, I'm this, I'm that. But what do I want? What will be a proof to me that I actually am making it? Or a certain hand will come out from the heavens and put in my hand and says, okay, you made it. A Jew has the power to take any point, even the smallest point, within himself. He does something good, even if you do it after a long time of neglecting to do it or falling behind and whatever, and finally you do it, in your mind, it was like, come on. And it's like, no, you take it there, this Nakuda, and the Kazera Eve Kadesh, take a look at this, and this is what you sanctify. You start your Kedusha from that little point. That little point is your Kedusha. And this is Meromas in the Chodesh, and Rosh Chodesh, the tremendous things that, it's a month for tshuva, Kodesh Baruch Kiviyachal is doing tshuva. They're very, very deep in Yonim about this meaning of the relationship between the sun and the moon. That the sun is Prinos knowledge, and the moon is Prinos Amuna, it doesn't know. And the relation between the two. Fascinating. Baruch Hashem, soon come Nisan, Bezat Hashem. So let's start now with the story of the Baal Shem. So one time the Baal Shem HaKadosh went with one of his Talmidim in a barren place. There's no water. Even, like a kilometer, miles around, there was no water. The Talmud was very thirsty. I mean, he was in life danger. So he said to Baal Shem Tov that he's very thirsty for water. Baal Shem didn't say anything. When the Talmud saw that that he's in life danger, he said it again. And so when that happened again, Baal Shem Tov told him, if you believe that in 1 minute Kodesh Baruch Hu created the entire world, and he sees your problem, and he already prepared for you water to drink, it's time to sit back. And he said, I believe, I really believe. He says, okay. Hashem says, okay, so wait just a little longer. And on the way, they saw, uh, a Gentile carrying 2 pails of water on his shoulders. When they met him, they gave him, a few pennies, He gave him water, and they were able to drink. Baal Shem Tov told him, "What made you come here in the wilderness carrying these buckets?" The Gentile said, he says, "My master has gone crazy. He sent me to get water from a certain fountain that is really, really far. And I'm already carrying a few, buckets of water more than 3 miles. And I don't have a clue why." Shem Tov told his Talmud, you see, the Ashkocha of Kodesh Baruch Hu, he created a minister and a servant, and he will go nuts, and he will send his servant to carry buckets of water from very, very far away, all that you should be able to have this word. Everything that went on, the Kodesh Baruch Hu has foresaw when he already created the world. A marvelous story, marvelous aura. Without the thirst, without being put in a test, the Talmud would never be able to see the amazing Yeshua that Kodesh Baruch Hu did for him. One of the things that we want, I mean, we wish for, we seem to wish for, is we want everything to go smooth, everything to be just, we plan it ahead the way we plan it, that's the way it should go. But it doesn't work that way. Every single day comes with its own complications and its own, and the fact is that the closer you get to Avodas Hashem, the higher the obstacles become. And that's the way it goes, because you need to arrive at a much greater realization of the presence of a Kodesh Baruch Hu. If everything is good, you're not looking for anything. You're not thirsting for anything. You're not. It's when you need a Kodesh Baruch Hu, this is when you call out to Him. And everything was built for the koyach of Emunah, for the zegula of Emunah, for the purpose of Emunah. Be'ezat Hashem. Let's take a quick look into. Okay, let's see what's the Sichos Haran for today. Done. Just a second. Let me take a quick look. Okay. We are holding by Sicha 300. Baruch Hashem, we've learned already 300 holy Sichos of Rabbeinu. This one is very short, but like all Rabbeinu Sichos, it encompasses everything. Once the Rebbe told me, writes Reb Nosson, everything that you see in the world and everything that exists in the world, it is all there for the sake of choice and testing and trial. Everything in the world, not only here, in China, in Iran, in the United States, in England, every single thing that goes on for you, for the choice that you will have. Why is this like this? Why is this like that? Okay, this is something that has nothing to do with, but no. Everything that, whether you know that it connects, whether you don't know that it connects, it all exists for your bechira, for your choice. Sometimes you see it, sometimes you don't. But the thing is that not only when you see something, it says, okay, the test is this, the nisayon is this, the choice is this. Not necessarily. Many times is the whole thing working together. There are energies, there are certain an ebb and flow that reality is created to create situations just for you. You have to understand that this particular story that we learned from Baal Shem Tov the the minister, the feudal lord, whatever it is, he told his servant to go fetch the water a long time before the Baal Shem Tov student, didn't have water to drink. Everything that happened to this feudal lord the night before, whatever that happened to the servant the night before, whatever that happened that particular day in the entire household of that particular feudal lord, everything was created and arranged to create, juxtaposition of putting everything together. So this Tal Baal Shem Tov will be in a test, and he will mischazek be'emunah, and he gets his deliverance. Everything that happens in the world is happening for you. The feeling is like it almost like it seems like things are disconnected, disjointed. What does this have to do with this, and what has to do with this? Okay, now what's happening with the war? What's happening with this? What's happening in that? I think it's worth it. It's worth it to say one thing. I saw something really marvelous, which I'd like to share with you. You know, there are many pundits. One politician says, if we don't bring down the regime, the Ayatollah regime in Iran, we haven't done anything. And then, another pundit says, this time, if we finish the war without Hezbollah being totally annihilated, this may be our last chance, whatever. But what's the purpose? What then? Let's say you bring down the regime in Iran, and you bring down the Hezbollah, and you defeat Hamas. What then? Okay, we'll sit down. We go to shopping centers, shopping malls, and we shop till we drop. Well, what is it all about? There's a spark inside each and every one of us that has a lot of cynicism and despair and dust and being caught up with reality and one's health and the whole thing, coming together. And that there's a spark in there that wishes, what about the Geula? What about the final deliverance? Maybe now, during the corona, the entire world came to a standstill. So maybe that's then they had, this horrible thing that happened, October 7th, in Simchas Torah. We thought, okay, this is it. And then there was a 12-day war. We thought, okay, this is it. We have to call a Kodesh Baruch Hu and wake up this hidden spark inside us that already says, something, as long as there are no sirens and no missiles and all this and all that, and the Iranians go down and this go down. Now we're sort of going down, we're in a situation that tzaddikim in previous generations were beseeching HaKadosh Baruch Hu, telling him, you know, um, very soon there'll be nobody to deliver anymore. And this is us. I mean, we're the remnants, that we're what's left. It's probably a very good time to call out to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. V'aday, peace is a marvelous thing, and safety is a marvelous thing, and predictability, whatever. It's wonderful, but it's not the real McCoy. It's not the ultimate that we're looking for. V'aday, we need all these things to happen, but we need the Geula. Maybe this is the time that let's call out to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Ribono Shel Olam, deliver us. It's wonderful, all these things and victories and this and that, but deliver us. Please deliver us. Now we're exactly in the most auspicious time, Order Nissan, this is the time for Geula, the time for all the, now is the time. Because we matzlich everything that is happening, for our benefit, you know, in the world. But let's understand that there's a purpose for that. There's also a bechira for us to say, no, this is wonderful, this is great, thank you very much, but this is not enough. We need the final step. We need the Geula Shlema, B'ezrat Hashem. Kodesh Baruch Hu should help. B'ezrat Hashem, to have Geula Shlema, that's very soon nowadays. B'ezrat Hashem, you see the building of Beis Hamikdash, B'ezrat Hashem, sooner nowadays. So we'll all have a wonderful week and a wonderful Chodesh. And only hear good news. Kol Tov and Atzlacha Rabba. Good Tov. Let's finish with that.